I watched Earth's warriors in battle, and I understood why the heavens fear them. The alien ship drifted silently above the blue and green sphere of Earth, a fragile planet that, at first glance, seemed hardly worth the attention of a civilization that had conquered stars. From its high orbit, the world looked peaceful, almost delicate, with clouds rolling across oceans and vast stretches of land dotted with clusters of light. Yet the aliens' sensors picked up signals of human activity, organized, chaotic, and strangely persistent. For centuries, the alien species had watched Earth from afar, cataloging humans as primitive and easily overwhelmed. Their first analysis had been simple: small bodies, fragile biology, limited technology, and emotional decisions that weakened them in comparison to more logical, advanced species. In every galactic registry, humans were rated among the weakest. Yet for some reason, their curiosity lingered on this planet. There was something unpredictable about humanity, something the alien could not quantify. It was why they had been sent here, not to invade, but to study. To understand why certain fleets of their own kind sometimes hesitated when Earth came up in strategic discussions. They are weak, their commanders would say, but they are dangerous in ways we do not measure. The alien had scoffed at that. Dangerous. How could a species that barely managed spaceflight pose any real threat? The alien positioned itself above a large training ground, a vast expanse of open terrain near a cluster of cities. Sensors picked up movement, humans running, shouting, coordinating. From this distance, the alien expected confusion, disarray, but what it saw instead was order. Teams of humans moved as if connected by invisible threads, anticipating one another's actions with a precision that was unexpected. One human, a tall figure with a sharp gaze, seemed to lead the group. Their movements were confident, quick, and measured. The alien studied them closely, noting how the human adapted when obstacles suddenly appeared. A simulated barrier collapsing, a surprise signal requiring instant redirection. The human's mind, the alien realized, was always calculating, always adjusting. Unlike other species the alien had studied, humans did not panic when faced with the unexpected. They improvised. At first, the alien assumed it was just a drill, a simple exercise in coordination. But then it saw something else. One human fell, stumbling under the weight of equipment, but quickly rolled to safety and returned to the group's center. Another tripped over a hidden obstacle but recovered mid-run, regaining pace and rejoining the strategy without hesitation. These were not accidents. They were opportunities, challenges that humans seemed to transform into advantages. The aliens' sensors also picked up a rhythm in their communication. Unlike the strict, emotionless signals of most species, humans spoke in hurried bursts, full of emotion but also full of clarity. Their tone carried urgency, encouragement, and sometimes even humor. The alien was surprised to find that these sounds, the laughter, the shouting, the warnings, enhanced efficiency rather than disrupted it. It was then that the alien began to understand something crucial. Humans relied on more than strength or technology. They relied on each other. Trust, loyalty, quick thinking, and instinct, all traits the alien had not fully considered in its initial assessments, were weapons in themselves. A human team could adapt faster than any protocol could predict. The alien's curiosity grew as it observed more closely. In one part of the field, a smaller team seemed to struggle. Their equipment malfunctioned, leaving them exposed in the simulation. Other humans, noticing this, adjusted their positions to protect the weaker team. One human sprinted into the middle of the simulated danger, drawing the imaginary threat away and giving the struggling team a chance to recover. It was not brute force, the alien realized, but calculated risk, courage, and teamwork. These humans understood their own limits and the limits of those around them, and they acted not out of command, but out of choice, intuition, and care. The alien species, which relied heavily on rigid hierarchies and logical calculations, could not predict this kind of behavior. The simulation ended, but the humans did not stop moving. They discussed their performance, critiquing one another politely yet sharply. Mistakes were analyzed, corrected, and stored mentally for future attempts. The alien watched, fascinated, as even the smallest details were remembered and adapted into a new strategy almost instantly. It had taken some time, but the alien began to question its mission. This was supposed to be simple reconnaissance. Observe the weak species, confirm their insignificance, and report back. Yet the more it watched, the more it felt a twinge of uncertainty, a warning pulse in its logic circuits. There was something about these humans, something that made them unpredictable and resilient in ways no simulation could fully capture. Later, as night fell on Earth, the alien hovered over a city. Lights twinkled across streets and buildings, showing signs of life that seemed fragile from space. But there was movement below, people running drills, responding to alarms, or even rescuing those in danger during practice emergencies. The alien noted a pattern. Humans thrived under stress, and stress seemed to sharpen their focus instead of dull it. A small incident sealed the alien's growing respect. A young human, perhaps no older than 20, had accidentally triggered a mechanical failure during the exercise. Alarms blared, lights flashed, and other participants froze for a split second, unsure how to respond. But the young human did not hesitate. They moved quickly, shutting down the faulty equipment and redirecting the rest of the group to safety. No praise was given at the moment. They simply resumed the exercise, but the alien recorded the action. Resourcefulness, courage, and calm under pressure. Traits that many species lacked, but humans seemed to cultivate naturally. The alien began to compare this observation to the countless invasions and conquests its civilization had performed across the stars. Many species, when faced with superior technology, faltered immediately. Strategy, preparation, and discipline often mattered less than raw ability to adapt, to innovate, and to fight with heart. And here, on a small blue planet, was a species that seemed to embody all three. By the end of its observation, the alien felt a strange tension. Its mission was clear, yet a new directive formed in its circuits: study more, learn more, and perhaps reconsider. Humans were not just survivors, they were warriors in their own right. Not warriors in the sense of brute strength, but in the way they could endure, improvise, and overcome. The alien paused, watching the humans retreat to their quarters after the long exercise. Even in rest, they remained alert, discussing ideas, sharing insights, and preparing for the next challenge. It was not technology alone that defined them. It was the combination of mind, spirit, and unity. As the alien prepared to leave its observation post for the night, it recorded a single note. Earth's warriors are not the strongest in muscle or weaponry, but in courage, intelligence, and adaptability. They are unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. It did not yet know how much truth that statement held, but one thing was certain: the mission, which began with assumptions of weakness, had shifted. Curiosity had turned to respect, and respect had edged toward apprehension. From its place high above the planet, the alien watched as humans trained under the rising sun. Each movement, each interaction, each calculated decision sent a clear message, even to the distant stars. Earth was not a world to underestimate. And somewhere deep in its analytical circuits, a new understanding formed, unspoken but undeniable. If the heavens had reason to fear humans, it was because humans had something far more valuable than raw strength or technology. They had spirit. They had heart. And they would never yield easily, no matter the challenge. The alien could only watch, recording, calculating, and wondering, how far would these humans go? How much could they endure? And when the first true test came, would the galaxy realize too late why the heavens feared Earth's warriors? For now it would observe, it would study, and it would learn. The answers it sensed would not be simple, but they would be extraordinary. And as night fully embraced the planet, the alien finally allowed itself one rare acknowledgement of awe. Humans were something its species had never fully understood, and perhaps never could. The lesson of Earth had just begun. The alien drifted higher into the atmosphere, adjusting its sensors to track the next phase of human activity. This time, the humans were preparing for a larger test, a simulation designed to push them to their limits. Unlike the controlled drills the alien had observed before, this exercise involved full-scale coordination across multiple regions, with hundreds of participants acting as both attackers and defenders. From above, the alien could see the humans organizing into squads, each moving toward different strategic points. The coordination was impressive. Vehicles, communications, and resources all aligned as if guided by a single mind. Even from space, the alien could feel the energy of purpose radiating from the planet. The first wave of the exercise began. Humans in various squads were tasked with defending critical points, while other teams attempted to invade or capture those positions. What amazed the alien immediately was not their technology, it was how the humans responded to the unexpected. A squad was supposed to reach a checkpoint in 10 minutes. As they approached, a simulated obstacle, a collapsed bridge, blocked their path. The alien expected hesitation, maybe confusion, perhaps a rerouting after delay. But instead, one human immediately assessed the situation, signaling the team to split into two groups. One group worked to repair a temporary crossing, while the other created an improvised bypass. Within moments, the checkpoint was secure, and the simulation continued without losing momentum. The aliens' curiosity deepened. Humans were not simply following a plan, they were rewriting it in real time, anticipating problems that had not been formally addressed. And yet there was more. Each team communicated constantly, offering advice, warnings, and encouragement. Laughter, jokes, and casual comments were mixed with urgent instructions. The alien noted how this combination of emotion and logic seemed to strengthen their efficiency rather than weaken it. At another location, a different human squad faced a trap designed to slow them down. The alien watched as one human noticed a weak point in the obstacle, a narrow gap previously overlooked. Without hesitation, the human gestured to the others and they squeezed through, adjusting positions in perfect harmony. No command had been issued from above. They simply adapted. It was in these moments that the alien began to understand the difference between human intelligence and the cold logic its species often relied upon. Humans could improvise, yes, but they also seemed to predict one another's moves instinctively. There was a pattern, yet it was flexible, alive, and constantly evolving. As the exercise continued, the alien noticed that humans treated mistakes not as failures but as opportunities. A squad accidentally triggered a miscommunication, sending half the team in the wrong direction. Instantly, they adapted. One human yelled an alert, others adjusted, and within moments the team was back on course. There was no panic, no wasted time, only quick adaptation and coordinated recovery. The alien's mind, trained to calculate probability and predict outcomes, struggled to keep up. In every scenario, humans defied expectations. They were not just resilient, they were unpredictable in ways that could turn weaknesses into advantages. During the next stage, the humans faced a simulated enemy fleet represented by automated drones. These drones were programmed to attack in precise patterns, exploiting any delay or misstep. From the aliens' vantage point, the humans were outmatched by sheer numbers and speed, yet they did not falter. One human leader analyzed the drones' movement patterns and began signaling new formations to the team. Instead of trying to match the drones head-on, the humans used the environment to their advantage, leading the drones into traps, using shadows, terrain, and makeshift barriers to slow them down. Another team created a decoy, drawing part of the automated force away and giving their comrades a chance to counterattack strategically. The alien observed, fascinated, as a human engineer adapted a piece of standard equipment, turning it into a temporary weapon to disable one of the drones. It was crude, perhaps laughable by advanced technological standards, but it worked perfectly. In that moment, the alien realized humans were capable of turning limitations into creative solutions. Even more striking was the human leadership. Decisions were made quickly, with input from multiple team members, yet they remained coherent and effective. Humans encouraged each other, sharing observations and highlighting potential dangers. Confidence and caution coexisted in perfect balance. At one point, a drone appeared to corner a human squad. The alien expected failure, expecting the humans to be overrun by the superior mechanical force. But instead, the humans executed a maneuver that seemed almost impossible. One human drew the drone's attention while the rest of the team slipped behind, disabling its control system. Within moments, the drone was neutralized, and the squad continued their mission as if nothing extraordinary had happened. The alien's fascination turned into something deeper, admiration, tinged with something like fear. Here was a species that by every standard should have been easy to dismiss. Yet their unpredictability, courage, and intelligence made them dangerous in ways the alien had never calculated. The final stage of the simulation involved multiple squads converging on a single point, defending a critical base against overwhelming numbers of drones and simulated attackers. From space, The alien could see the strategy taking shape. Humans moved like a single organism, yet each individual acted independently when needed. One squad leader noticed a weak point in the defense. Without hesitation, they signaled a subgroup to reinforce it, while another group used a diversion to draw simulated attackers away. Humans climbed, ran, and coordinated their movements in a dance of precision and instinct. The alien marveled at their focus. Even when fatigue set in, humans did not slow. They encouraged one another, shared water, adjusted equipment, and continued to push forward. The alien could sense the human determination. It was as tangible as energy itself, a force that could not be measured by sensors alone. When the exercise concluded, the humans did not celebrate in any grand way. They simply returned to their stations, discussing successes and mistakes. The alien studied the conversations, careful analysis, genuine concern for the well-being of teammates, and ideas for improvement. Even in victory, they sought to grow stronger. The alien reflected on what it had witnessed. These humans, small and fragile by many measures, had displayed courage, intelligence, creativity, and relentless determination. They had adapted, improvised, and overcome challenges that on paper should have defeated them. And in every instance, they had done so without relying solely on brute force or advanced technology. It was not their machines that made them formidable, it was their minds and their hearts. Their unity, their ability to inspire one another, their refusal to yield in the face of difficulty. These were qualities the alien species often overlooked in other civilizations. Yet here, on this small blue planet, they were abundant. The alien could not help but feel a growing respect, even awe. It began to understand why previous generations of its own kind had hesitated when discussing Earth. Humans were unpredictable, yes, but unpredictability combined with ingenuity and courage made them a force that could not be underestimated. As night fell across the training grounds, the alien continued to observe. Humans were gathering, reviewing footage, planning improvements. Even in rest, they were thinking, learning, preparing for the next challenge. There was no arrogance, no complacency, only constant growth and relentless effort. The alien realized something profound. If these humans ever faced a real threat, they would not merely fight. They would adapt, survive, and perhaps even thrive against impossible odds. And that, the alien knew, was terrifying for any opponent. Returning to orbit, the alien recorded its final note for the day. Humans are small, fragile, and seemingly limited, but they are brilliant, resilient, and fearless. Their strength lies in adaptability, unity, and spirit. Underestimating them would be a grave error. It was a truth that would stay with the alien long after the simulations ended. Something in humanity was indefinable, something that no logic or calculation could fully predict. And as the alien drifted further into the darkness of space, it could not help but think that Earth's warriors were not just strong in skill or strategy. They were strong in ways the heavens themselves might fear. The alien's mind lingered on one human in particular, the leader who had guided multiple squads with remarkable insight. There was courage, decisiveness, and empathy in their actions. The alien studied the human's gestures, their expressions, the way they inspired others. If this individual was a reflection of humanity, then the species was far beyond what the alien had been told. For hours, the alien remained above the planet, observing quietly as humans trained, learned, and grew. Each action reinforced the same conclusion: these beings were extraordinary. Not because they had the most advanced weapons, nor because they possessed superior technology, but because they had something far rarer: an indomitable spirit combined with brilliant minds willing to act together. And in that moment, the alien understood something that had eluded its species for centuries. To truly measure a civilization, one could not rely solely on technology or physical strength. One had to watch, observe, and understand the will behind the actions, the drive behind the effort, and the heart that pushed them beyond limits. The human spirit was not simple. It was unpredictable, adaptive, and relentless. And as the alien recorded its observations, it knew that the small, fragile-looking beings below were capable of feats that no star fleet could fully anticipate. For the first time, the alien truly felt the weight of caution. The mission had been simple: observe, report, and confirm Earth's weakness. But now, the alien's report would be different. It would have to include more than numbers, more than technology. It would have to include understanding, an acknowledgement that humans were formidable in ways that defied conventional logic. As the planet rotated beneath the aliens' ship, the lights of the cities twinkled like stars caught on Earth. The humans were gone from the training grounds now, returning home or to their stations, yet their energy lingered. It was a living pulse, a rhythm of effort, courage, and hope that no simulation could replicate. The alien remained silent, its mind turning over the events of the day. There was admiration here, yes, but also caution. Humans could be unpredictable allies or dangerous adversaries. And as the alien drifted further into space, it realized one truth above all. The heavens had reason to fear Earth's warriors. Not because of their size, not because of their weapons, not because of their machines, but because of their spirit, their ingenuity, and their unyielding courage. And that understanding, once formed, would not be forgotten. The alien returned to its observation post, higher in orbit than before, with sensors scanning every corner of the planet. This time, humans were not merely training, they were responding to a real threat. An unidentified swarm of automated drones, programmed by a rogue artificial intelligence, had appeared near Earth's atmosphere. Their purpose was unknown, but their approach was precise and relentless. From space, the alien could see the faint glint of metallic bodies reflecting sunlight as they advanced. Thousands of drones moved like a single organism, coordinated in perfect formation, their paths calculated to intercept Earth's defenses. Many civilizations would have panicked at such an approach, but the humans below did not falter. At the first detection, Earth's response was immediate. Human command centers lit up with activity. Teams coordinated across cities, sharing real-time data on the swarm's movement. Engineers, strategists, and field teams worked together, their plans forming and reforming as new information came in. The alien noted the efficiency. It was extraordinary for a species still considered primitive by galactic standards. The first encounter took place near a coastal city. A squad of humans intercepted a small portion of the swarm using a combination of drones, ground defenses, and improvised tactics. The alien watched as humans adapted in ways that defied expectation. One human leader noticed that the drones were using predictable patterns. Instead of attacking head-on, they guided a small team to exploit the swarm's blind spots, disabling several drones with a minimal amount of energy. Another squad faced a drone ambush in a mountainous region. From above, it appeared hopeless. The terrain was uneven and the humans were outnumbered, yet they did not retreat. One human realized that the drone's sensors were limited to specific angles. By moving in unexpected formations and using the natural cover, the humans created confusion among the attackers. They trapped several drones against cliffs, then disabled them with tools modified on the spot. The alien began to understand that humans excelled where predictability failed. Their strength was not sheer force, but adaptability, ingenuity, and the ability to improvise instantly. They communicated constantly, using quick gestures, signals, and short commands, each movement calculated to support their comrades. Every action, no matter how small, had a purpose. In the capital, the Human Defense Command analyzed the larger swarm. Instead of panic, they approached the situation systematically. One strategist suggested splitting forces into multiple fronts, drawing parts of the swarm away to reduce pressure on key cities. Another proposed using electromagnetic pulses to disable clusters of drones, a tactic adapted from older, less sophisticated equipment. Humans combined their historical knowledge with rapid innovation, creating new strategies on the fly. The alien was astonished by their coordination. While most species relied on rigid hierarchies and top-down control, humans decentralized their efforts. Each squad acted independently but with constant awareness of the greater plan. Mistakes were not punished. They were corrected, shared, and integrated into the next wave of action. The most striking display occurred in a desert testing zone where humans had constructed a series of towers for surveillance. A large portion of the swarm descended unexpectedly, faster than predicted. The humans on the towers did not panic. Instead, they observed, analyzed, and acted. Using mirrors, solar energy, and improvised barriers, they redirected the drone's sensors, causing them to collide or malfunction. The alien recorded the event in amazement. The humans had turned limited resources into a decisive advantage. Meanwhile, in the sky above the ocean, a human team deployed small, fast boats equipped with drones and sensors. The alien watched as the humans coordinated attacks against the incoming swarm. One human guided their small fleet using gestures and voice commands, moving in precise patterns to intercept drones attempting to breach critical infrastructure. The alien calculated the odds. They should have been overwhelmed, but the humans turned the situation around. Every threat became an opportunity, every limitation a tool. The alien noticed a pattern emerging. Humans seemed to thrive on challenge. The more impossible the task, the more determined they became. They analyzed threats, adapted strategies, and executed plans with remarkable clarity and bravery. Fear, if it existed, did not control them. Instead, it sharpened their focus. In one urban district, a group of humans faced a particularly aggressive subset of the swarm. The drones' advanced sensors made direct attacks nearly impossible. Yet the humans improvised. They created decoys, guided the drones into narrow streets where their movement was restricted, and used everyday objects, metal sheets, reflective surfaces, even water streams, to confuse and disable the attackers. From space, the alien could see the drones falter under human unpredictability. The alien was captivated. It realized that humans did not simply rely on technology, they relied on creativity, intuition, and collaboration. Their minds moved faster than any algorithm, anticipating, reacting, and inventing new solutions under extreme pressure. These were not just warriors, they were thinkers, innovators, and problem solvers all at once. As the day progressed, human coordination reached a peak. Teams across the planet worked seamlessly, sharing information instantaneously. Human leaders communicated with each other directly and indirectly, using networks, signals, and gestures. Even minor errors were corrected quickly, often preemptively, before the swarm could take advantage. A particularly brave human climbed a damaged tower to manually recalibrate a sensor, drawing the attention of multiple drones. Others used the distraction to implement a synchronized attack that disabled half of the approaching swarm. The alien recorded the event carefully. Courage, intelligence, and coordination combined to create results far beyond expectation. By nightfall, the humans had successfully neutralized the majority of the threat. The swarm, while technologically advanced, had been outsmarted at every turn. Humans had turned limitations into advantages, weakness into strategy, and danger into opportunity. The alien floated silently above, overwhelmed by admiration and something unfamiliar: respect. These beings, fragile and seemingly ordinary, had faced a real threat and triumphed through ingenuity and unity. Their strength was not measured in size, power, or weapons, but in their ability to think, adapt, and act together. The alien could not ignore the implications. Any civilization attempting to underestimate humans would face not only their technology but their minds and their spirit. They were unpredictable, fearless, and relentless. The alien calculated probabilities again and again, but no formula could capture the unpredictability, the ingenuity, and the courage displayed. In the quiet aftermath, humans did not celebrate loudly. They regrouped, shared lessons learned, and prepared for the possibility of future threats. They treated the swarm not as an enemy to destroy, but as a challenge to overcome, a problem to solve. And in that approach, the alien recognized something profound. Humans were not just survivors, they were masters of adaptation, capable of turning adversity into triumph. The alien reflected on what it had witnessed. Previous assessments of humans as weak and fragile were now clearly wrong. Humans were strong, but in ways that could not be measured by size, speed, or weaponry alone. Their strength was mental, emotional, and social. Their ability to unite, innovate, and persevere under pressure made them formidable beyond expectation. As the alien drifted away from Earth's orbit, it recorded its observations in meticulous detail. Humans were not the most advanced species technologically, but they were unpredictable, creative, and resilient. They combined intelligence, courage, and collaboration in ways that no other species the alien had studied could match. It realized for the first time why the heavens might fear Earth. Not because humans sought conquest, nor because they possessed superior firepower, but because they had something rarer, stronger, and more dangerous: the human spirit. The alien understood that any attempt to control or invade Earth would be met not with mere resistance, but with ingenuity, unity, and relentless courage. And for the first time, the alien felt a hesitation it had never experienced before. Its mission had been to observe and report, yet now it was unsure how to describe humans accurately. They were small, fragile, and limited in some ways, but in others they were extraordinary. A species capable of defying expectations and overcoming impossible odds. A species whose strength could not be measured, only respected. For the rest of the night, the alien remained in orbit, watching human activity. Even in quiet moments, humans were moving, thinking, preparing. They were restless, alert, and engaged, a constant energy that filled the planet like a heartbeat. The alien realized one truth: Earth's warriors were not just skilled in battle, they were masters of adaptation, courage, and teamwork. And any species that underestimated them would face consequences it could not foresee. The alien's final note for the day was simple but profound. Humans are extraordinary. Their strength lies in their minds, their unity, and their spirit. They are unpredictable, relentless, and capable of overcoming any challenge. To underestimate them is to invite disaster. As Earth rotated beneath the alien ship, bathed in the quiet glow of moonlight and distant cities, the alien felt a growing awareness of the truth. Humans were not merely creatures to observe, they were beings to respect, perhaps even fear. And as the alien turned away, heading toward deeper space, it carried a new understanding. The humans of Earth had proven themselves beyond measure, and the galaxy had reason to take notice. The alien had been observing humans from orbit for many cycles, but something had shifted. What it had once seen as a simple, fragile species now seemed vibrant, capable, and full of surprises. The previous simulations and battles had proven that humans were extraordinary in their adaptability and courage. Yet, observing from afar was no longer enough. The alien wanted to understand the force driving them. Descending carefully, the alien entered Earth's atmosphere in a form that could remain unnoticed. Its sensors adapted to human perception, allowing it to appear as a faint shadow or glimmer to those nearby. From above, cities looked peaceful once more, but the alien knew better. Even in calm, humans were active, training, thinking, learning, and preparing for the unknown. The alien chose a location near a research hub where humans were testing energy shields and propulsion systems. Here, scientists and engineers worked side by side with strategists and trainers. The alien hovered nearby, invisible but attentive. Its sensors recorded everything: the coordination, the dialogue, the subtle ways humans encouraged each other and solved problems together. One young human engineer was adjusting a device designed to amplify energy output. As she worked, her team observed and offered suggestions, pointing out small adjustments that would improve efficiency. None of them argued. Instead, each idea was considered, tested, and either accepted or modified. The alien realized that this process, collaboration combined with critical thinking, was at the heart of human strength. Outside the lab, a group of humans ran tactical drills. They moved in small squads, practicing formations, scouting, and responding to surprise scenarios. The alien noted how each human acted independently yet remained aware of their teammates. They trusted one another instinctively, predicting each other's movements and covering gaps without verbal commands. This coordination seemed almost telepathic, yet it was born from training, observation, and empathy. Curiosity led the alien closer. A human noticed something unusual, a faint glimmer in the sky, and instinctively raised an alert. Others immediately responded, scanning the area and preparing defenses. The alien observed quietly, fascinated by how quickly humans could adapt to new variables. Fear did not paralyze them, it sharpened their focus and strengthened their resolve. One human leader approached the group, assessing the situation with calm confidence. Instead of panic, there was analysis: what was known, what was unknown, and how best to respond. Orders were given not as commands, but as suggestions. The squad members adapted instantly, forming new strategies in real time. Even when a simulated threat appeared unexpectedly, humans adjusted, improvising with creativity that no machine could predict. The alien began to understand that humans were not merely reactive. They were proactive, constantly learning and improving. Their strength did not come solely from technology or numbers, but from their ability to think quickly, to anticipate, and to act with purpose. Each individual contributed to the collective in a way that amplified the group's overall effectiveness. As the day progressed, the alien followed a small team testing a new form of portable shield technology. The humans faced multiple challenges: energy fluctuations, environmental hazards, and unexpected equipment malfunctions. The alien expected delays or errors, but humans handled each problem with grace and ingenuity. One human, noticing a short circuit, quickly devised a workaround using available materials. Another adjusted the timing of the shield's activation, improving efficiency. Together, they solved problems that could have seemed insurmountable to an outsider. The alien was amazed. Humans did not rely on rigid rules or pre-programmed solutions. They analyzed, experimented, and adapted constantly. Mistakes were not failures but opportunities to learn, shared with others so the entire team could grow stronger. Later, as night fell, the alien observed humans gathering in quiet spaces. They discussed the day's challenges, shared observations, and planned improvements. Even in rest, they were active, thinking, learning, and preparing for the future. It was not duty alone that drove them, the alien realized, but curiosity, determination, and a deep sense of responsibility for one another. At one point, a young human noticed the alien for the first time, a faint glimmer among the shadows. She paused, observing silently, sensing something unusual yet not immediately alarmed. The alien did not reveal itself, but its presence was felt. The humans' team gathered, discussing possibilities but without panic. They were cautious, observant, and ready for any eventuality. The alien understood then that humans possessed an instinctual awareness, a blend of intuition and careful reasoning that allowed them to perceive threats even before they fully manifested. The alien followed the team to a high-tech control center. Here, humans monitored multiple systems: communications, energy flow, environmental conditions, and simulated threats. Each human contributed to the whole, analyzing data and making decisions collaboratively. The alien noted the balance between individual initiative and group coordination. It was a harmony that ensured efficiency while allowing creativity and flexibility. As the alien continued its silent observation, it began to understand the human concept of leadership. Leaders were not distant commanders issuing orders. They were guides, mentors, and facilitators. They inspired confidence, encouraged initiative, and adapted their approach to each situation. Authority was earned, not demanded, and respect was mutual. In a training exercise that evening, humans simulated a coordinated defense against an approaching swarm. The alien watched as squads moved fluidly across terrain, improvising to counter unexpected challenges. One squad faced a broken bridge, another a malfunctioning drone, and yet another a sudden equipment failure. In each case, humans adapted instantly. They collaborated, encouraged, and found solutions. Even when exhausted, they remained focused, turning potential failure into success. The alien began to record its most important observation: humans thrived under pressure. The more complex the problem, the more determined they became. Their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability were amplified by collaboration and mutual support. It was not merely training, it was a reflection of their very nature. The alien also observed moments of kindness and empathy. Humans helped each other, sharing tools, providing guidance, and offering encouragement. These acts, though small, strengthened the team and ensured success. The alien realized that this compassion was not a weakness, but a source of resilience and coordination. As the night wore on, the alien continued to follow the humans, learning their patterns, understanding their instincts, and recognizing their extraordinary spirit. It became clear that every action, every decision, and every interaction contributed to a larger, invisible strength. Humans were capable of facing challenges far beyond what their size, technology, or apparent power might suggest. Finally, the alien returned to orbit, reflecting on what it had witnessed. Humans were more than warriors. They were thinkers, innovators, collaborators, and problem solvers. Their courage, intelligence, and empathy combined to create a force that no machine, no technology, and no superior numbers could easily overcome. The alien recorded a new understanding: humans are unpredictable and capable. Their strength is not in weapons or technology alone, but in unity, adaptability, courage, and heart. They face challenges with intelligence, creativity, and spirit. Any threat underestimated this combination will fail. As Earth rotated beneath the alien, the lights of cities and towns glimmered in the darkness. Humans rested briefly but remained alert, preparing for the next day's challenges. The alien realized that this constant drive to learn, adapt, and improve was the essence of their power. It was not just the humans' skill in battle or strategy that made them formidable. It was their relentless pursuit of growth, their unyielding courage, and their ability to act together as one. These qualities, the alien understood, were rare in the galaxy. Few civilizations combined heart, mind, and courage in such harmony. And as the alien drifted further from the planet, it felt something new: respect, awe, and an acknowledgement that humans were not merely a species to watch, but a force to recognize. A civilization whose true power lay in qualities that could not be measured, predicted, or replicated. The lesson was clear. The heavens had reason to fear Earth's warriors, not because of what they had already achieved, but because of what they were capable of becoming. And the alien knew that witnessing this was only the beginning of understanding the full scope of humanity's potential. The alien drifted silently above Earth, its sensors scanning the planet it had observed for so long. After countless days of watching humans train, adapt, and overcome challenges, a realization had taken root deep in its mind. Humans were not ordinary. They were unpredictable, resourceful, and driven by something more powerful than technology or numbers, something that no other civilization the alien had encountered could match. The alien's mission had been simple at first: observe, record, and report the weaknesses of this species. Yet every observation had proven the opposite. Humans were full of contradictions. They appeared fragile, yet they endured hardships that would break others. They seemed small and limited, yet they could adapt, invent, and inspire one another in ways no machine or algorithm could anticipate. As night fell across the planet, the alien reflected on everything it had witnessed. Humans had faced simulations, drones, and even real external threats with ingenuity and courage. They had turned mistakes into opportunities and challenges into victories. But it was not just their skill in problem-solving that impressed the alien. It was their spirit, their drive, and their willingness to act together. In a quiet valley, far from any city, a small human squad prepared for an unexpected exercise. The alien chose to descend closer this time, curious to see humans in an isolated environment where every action would be visible. The humans worked together seamlessly, their movements precise yet flexible. Each member anticipated the needs of the others, adjusting positions and sharing information without hesitation. One human, a young leader, noticed an obstacle: a fallen tree blocking their intended path. Instead of panicking, the human assessed the situation, signaling to the group to split and find alternative routes. Some moved around the obstacle, others climbed over it, and a small subgroup worked to remove the blockage entirely. Within moments, the group had adapted and continued their journey, demonstrating once again the human ability to respond instantly to unforeseen problems. The alien's sensors picked up something more subtle: the bond between the humans. It was not just coordination or strategy, it was trust. They relied on each other instinctively, confident that every action would be supported by someone else. It was this connection, the invisible thread linking their minds and intentions, that made humans truly formidable. Later, in a nearby city, humans were working on experimental technology designed to defend against potential threats. The alien observed engineers adjusting systems in real time, responding to unexpected malfunctions, and creating solutions with minimal resources. One human noticed a power surge in a critical device and quickly rerouted energy, preventing failure. Another combined two separate components to create a new function that had not been planned. Each action, though small, contributed to the greater success of the project. The alien began to realize the full scope of human capability. Their ingenuity was not limited to combat or defense. It extended to every aspect of life. Humans could think, adapt, and innovate continuously, and they did so not for personal gain alone, but for the well-being of their communities. Their intelligence was active, alive, and purposeful. From a distance, the alien watched humans interact with one another. They encouraged each other, offered guidance, and shared ideas freely. They celebrated small victories quietly, without arrogance, and treated failures as lessons rather than shame. The alien recognized that this culture of cooperation and learning amplified their strength far beyond what raw numbers or technology could achieve. As dawn broke, the alien witnessed humans practicing defensive strategies against simulated aerial attacks. The humans moved with remarkable precision, using natural terrain, improvised barriers, and collaborative tactics to neutralize imaginary threats. The alien calculated the odds repeatedly. It should have been a disaster for a species with such limited technology. Yet the humans prevailed, not by force alone, but through creativity, unity, and courage. The alien's sensors recorded an unusual event. A human climbed a high cliff to gain a vantage point, guiding the rest of the team through hand signals and voice commands. The climb was dangerous, but the human was calm, precise, and focused. Below, the team adjusted instantly to the new information, navigating obstacles, avoiding hazards, and reaching objectives without hesitation. The alien understood that bravery was not reckless. It was calculated, intelligent, and purposeful. In the evening, the alien observed humans gathering in quiet discussion circles. They shared insights from the day, analyzed challenges, and proposed improvements for the future. There was no blame, no pride, only focus on growth and understanding. The alien realized that this was the essence of human strength: continuous learning, adaptation, and the relentless pursuit of better solutions. The alien considered the implications. Many civilizations believed humans were weak and insignificant. Many had dismissed them as fragile and unpredictable, yet humans had demonstrated abilities far beyond simple strength or technology. Their real power lay in their mind, their spirit, and their unity. A species capable of rapid adaptation, innovation, and collaboration was a force that could not be ignored. For the first time, the alien felt a hesitation it had never experienced before. Its mission had been to report weakness, but it now understood that humans were formidable in ways no data could fully capture. To attack Earth would be reckless. To underestimate humans would be fatal. And to engage them without understanding their true capabilities would be unwise. The alien decided to descend even closer, seeking to understand more deeply. It chose to reveal itself subtly, allowing one human to notice it without causing panic. The young human who first saw the alien blinked, unsure of what it was, yet remained calm. The alien observed closely as the human's team gathered, analyzing the situation logically. They did not flee or attack. They prepared, observed, and adapted. The alien realized that human courage extended beyond physical skill. It included curiosity, composure, and the ability to remain calm in the face of the unknown. The humans were not just warriors. They were thinkers, problem solvers, and innovators who could act decisively under pressure. Over several hours, the alien watched humans interact with technology, each other, and their environment. They were constantly learning, constantly adapting, and constantly improving. It became clear that this drive, this spirit, was what made humans extraordinary. It was the reason they had survived countless challenges and why they would continue to thrive, no matter the odds. As the sun set, casting golden light across the land, the alien reflected on the observations of many cycles. Humans had demonstrated courage, intelligence, and adaptability repeatedly. They had overcome simulations, real threats, and environmental challenges with ingenuity and teamwork. They were unpredictable, resourceful, and relentless. The alien recorded its final conclusion: humans were not merely a species to observe, they were a force to respect. Their true strength lay not in size, speed, or technology, but in their unity, creativity, courage, and spirit. To confront humans without understanding these qualities would be a grave mistake. The alien returned to orbit, preparing to report back to its superiors. It knew that its assessment would differ greatly from previous reports. Humans were not weak, they were extraordinary. They were capable of facing impossible odds, adapting instantly, and achieving victory where others would fail. And above all, they were unpredictable, making them a force that no civilization could easily calculate or control. The alien's final message was simple but profound. Earth's warriors are not the strongest in technology or numbers, but they are unmatched in adaptability, intelligence, courage, and unity. Underestimating them is unwise. Observing them inspires respect and caution. As the alien left Earth's orbit, it felt a deep sense of awe. Humans had proven themselves over and over again. They had faced simulations, threats, and challenges with creativity, courage, and unity, and they had done so without relying solely on technology or force. Their strength was in their spirit, their mind, and their determination to succeed together. The alien realized that the heavens had reason to fear Earth's warriors, not because of weapons or size, but because of what humans represented: resilience, ingenuity, and the unyielding drive to overcome any obstacle. It was a lesson the alien would carry forever. Humans were extraordinary. They were not to be underestimated, dismissed, or ignored. The galaxy had never seen a species quite like them, and any who challenged Earth would learn that lesson at their own peril. From that day onward, the aliens' mission changed. It would continue to observe, not to find weakness, but to understand humanity's potential. For humans were more than survivors. They were innovators, leaders, and warriors in the truest sense. And the alien knew that when the time came, Earth's warriors would rise to any challenge, no matter how impossible it seemed. And as Earth spun beneath the alien, glowing with life and energy, the alien understood fully why the heavens feared its inhabitants. Humans were small in size but enormous in spirit, limited in appearance but limitless in potential, fragile in body yet indestructible in heart. The alien watched quietly, recording everything, a silent witness to the extraordinary force that was humanity. And in the quiet of space, it acknowledged a truth that no sensor, calculation, or analysis could capture fully. Earth's warriors were unmatched in their courage, ingenuity, and unity, and that made them a power the galaxy would never forget.